Make sure Tony didn't change our name tag.
Yeah, I had to look at mine.
Loosen my seat up.
Every staff meeting I come in here after.
I did the last meeting.
Okay, welcome everybody. Beautiful night out. We left the roof on though, so need to get retractable. The first meeting I'm going to call to order tonight is the Lawrenceburg Board of Works meeting for September 3rd, 2024. Roll call, Mr. Fetty.
All right, we got Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Board Member Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Del Will.
Here.
President Kelly Malone.
Here. Okay, I have no announcements for this particular meeting, gentlemen, unless you do.
I have none, Mayor.
All right, and then I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second it, Mayor.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No new business for the Board of Works. Old business, we got Mr. Todd, the City Hall HVAC quotes.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. As you remember, back on August 5th meeting, we had presented 3 bids, or I should say quotes, for HVAC for the rooftop here at City Hall. Mr. Abbott brought up a good point about the refrigerant was going to be upgraded or changed within the next 30 to 60 days. So in taking that, I think we tabled them for the board's request, went back and got new quotes and did some research to find out how soon that refrigerant was going to be and if we could get units updated with the refrigerant. So in front of you, you have the 3 new prices that has the refrigerant upgraded, which for the record, that's an R454B refrigerant.
Okay.
And it did jump the price up, and I'm glad Tony did catch that, put some clarity to what was coming in the future.
All right.
The low quote was, again, Koch Mechanical. For their 2 units combined, it would be $19,300. The lead time for is 12 to 14 weeks due to the refrigerant. The other quotes we'll read off.
We're going to need those come January.
Yeah. The other quotes was DeBrawl. Again, we had the same 3 companies quote. DeBrawl's quote was $21,350. Corcoran Harness, $34,032. Again, low was Koch Mechanical.
Okay.
And I believe, Mark, that was going to come out of building maintenance capital.
Yep.
All right. So your recommendation then, Mario, is Cook Mechanical at $19,300?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Questions for Mario?
I have none, Mayor.
If not, entertain a motion then to approve the quote from Cook Mechanical for the 2 rooftop units, $19,300.
So moved, Mayor.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Your Honor, that's all I had.
All right, thank you. If no other old business, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn this particular meeting.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
As the AC kicks on.
Okay, next meeting I'd like to call to order is the Utility Board meeting for September 3rd, 2024. Could I get a roll call, Mr. Fetty?
We got Board Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board Member Dylan Little.
Present.
Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Board Member Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Board Member Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
Utility Director Billy Kennett.
Here.
City Attorney Del Will.
Here.
President Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, any announcements, Director?
No, sir.
Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
Second, Lenny? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Then we have another July 10th work session. We never did approve those meetings minutes, so can I get a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Director Kennett, this meeting is yours. Elizabeth Drive Lift Station Removal Engineering Agreement.
Yes, sir. This is the engineering agreement for the lift station on Elizabeth Drive. We have a situation up there, the existing lift station, the pumps, we know the pumps are too small. That's a single-phase electric service that feeds that lift station right now. So to upgrade the pumps, we need to upgrade the electric service to three-phase. So this engineering proposal does two things. One is it establishes a budget of what it would take to get the three-phase three-phase electric power up to the lift station, and then to rebuild the lift station with new pumps? Or is it more advantageous to do a gravity from that lift station? So do away with the lift station, take gravity down to the sewer main on US 50. So this is an agreement between BF&S Engineering, and the total amount of this is for $107,285.
Okay, before we vote on this, I spoke with Billy today because I had some additional questions after reviewing over the weekend, and that 107,285 is for all of the engineering. If they have to even go do the gravity fed down to US 50, correct?
Correct.
If they get in there and they're gonna come back, and my anticipation is they come back and say, okay, it's gonna cost this much to rehabilitate that lift station. This is what it's gonna cost if we take it down to US 50 and do away with that. So then I think we would have a decision to make as a utility service board and determine which direction to go. Am I explaining that correctly?
Yeah, that's correct. And then once it's determined the direction that we want to go, then they'll start the actual engineering portion of that
Okay.
implementation.
Okay. All right. Any questions on that particular agreement? If not, then I would entertain a motion to approve the Elizabeth Drive lift station removal / renovation engineering agreement.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Billy. Next would be the downtown water line replacements engineering agreement.
So each year, we work very close with Mario and Ashley on what the repaving of the streets look like for next year. And we do have, and what we do is we try to address any improvements, any utility improvements that need to be done on these streets before they come in and do the repaving. That way we're not tearing up good pavement 5 years down the road. So there's 2 streets downtown that are on the docket next year for repaving, and we need to replace the water lines. Actually, I said that wrong. There's more than 2 streets. It's just the 2 streets that we need the improvements on. The first one is Elm Street from William Street to Euphemia Street. And then the second one is on East High Street from Elm Street to William Street. And to get ahead of this, we need to start the engineering right now so that we can put it out for bids and do the project before they're ready to do the paving. So the engineering agreement for these 2 streets for the water line replacements is $156,200.
Like Billy said, or Director Kennett said, this goes hand in hand with the community crossings that we do here in the city every year. Just looking at, they're just looking ahead to make sure that we don't have to dig up good pavement after 3 years or 4 years and fix something. Questions? If no questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve the downtown water line replacement engineering agreement.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Director Kennett, US 50 Water Main Replacement Project, supplemental addendum number 2, or agreement number 2.
Yes, sir. So we've been working on the replacement of the US 50 water line. It's from right around the sewer plant all the way to Terrence Creek Drive. We had an original agreement with BF&S Engineering in the amount of $135,000. We came back to you with supplement number 1 for the amount of $67,820. And that was to do the utility locate because we were having a hard time finding a route through there with all the utilities that are in the area. And then this project has been a lot more engineering scope than what we could have anticipated. So I asked BF&S to come back with supplement number 2 of what it will take to finish the engineering on this project. And so supplement number 2 is for $32,000. So the original agreement was $135,000. We did the utility locate for $67,820. So that took that up to $202,820. And then supplement 2 to finish everything off for $32,000 takes it up to $234,820.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Director, there shouldn't be any other supplementals after this, though, because they're in final design, right?
Right.
Okay.
And with that said, we still have to get the utility easements.
Yeah.
So if if something would happen in that process, then they may have to go back and do some redesign. So
You're working on the
nothing's,
Yeah.
nothing's chiseled in stone right now, but if everything goes smooth with the easements, this should be the last supplement.
Okay. Questions for Director Kennett? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the US 50 Water Main Replacement Project supplemental agreement number 32, or number 2, for $32,000.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And final one, I believe, Mr. Kennett, is the Tantalus electric meter final order.
Yes, sir. So each year we come in front of you, we've had a 5-year plan to replace the electric meters with the smart meters. We are at the tail end of that project. It's been a fantastic project. We've been able to perform this project under the original budget. And so what we would like to do now, there's just a few meters that need to be ordered to be replaced, and then we have our stock to keep meters on the shelf for new services, replacements, things like that. We received 2 options from Annixter on the quotes. The difference in the pricing is one quote or one option had a quantity of 50 of the 2S meters, and the second price had 75 of the 2S. I'm recommending going with the 75 2S. And the reason for that, we have had trouble with supply chain on these meters and getting them in stock. So putting an extra 25 on the shelf in stock to me is a good idea. So my recommendation is to go with the second pricing option on here, and that price is $23,722.50.
So that means, how many are there left to replace, Bill? Any approximate?
I think there's around 54.
Okay.
Right in that
So
range.
you have another 20 on the shelf?
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
Okay.
And those extras, these are just residential meters?
The 2S are, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought
Yeah,
they were.
and so what we've done with these is each one of these would be stock items of spare meters that we would need just to keep in inventory and keep in stock.
Okay.
And I'm sure there's no shelf life or anything on them, correct?
There's no what?
No shelf life?
No.
Yeah, just a meter. Other than the technology probably.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah.
Hopefully not. Okay, any questions for Director Kennett regarding this one? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase of 75 of the tantalus electric meters at a total cost of $23,722.50.
Mayor, there are other
Others,
meters
yeah.
on there.
Oh, that's right. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
It's the, but.
He was
it's
going with the
option that has
75.
75,
Okay.
yeah.
So let me rephrase this. Let me entertain a motion to approve the second option, which includes 75 residential meters instead of 50. And that total cost would be then $23,722.50.
So moved.
I'll second it, Mayor.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Any old business, Director?
No old business, sir.
Mayor, I have something if I may.
Yes.
Mr. Kennett, do we have an ideal when we may be paving where we worked at center and front, replacing those valves?
No, I don't know. Mario has a schedule on that, but I haven't checked with him to see
Okay.
where they're at with that.
So it is in the plans, though?
Yeah, he always keeps a schedule, and usually they're 3 to 4 weeks out, sometimes even more than that, but I don't know where it's at on that
Well,
schedule.
the reason I was inquiring, I know we're getting ready to do some paving on the east side of town, but before that, we'd have to have the concrete curbs put in first before they'd pave. So, okay. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to review and then pay the claims.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. How about a motion to approve all payroll reports and checks once properly certified?
So move, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to call to order the City of Lawrenceburg City Council meeting for September 3rd, 2024. All rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, how about another roll call, Mr. Fetty?
All right, let's do it again. Councilperson Tony Abbott.
Here.
Councilperson Dylan Little.
Present.
Councilperson Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Councilperson Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Councilperson Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Wilden.
Here.
Mayor Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, announcements. Board report, streets, alleys, and curbs, Mr. Abbott,
We're
downtown.
in good shape.
About streets, alleys, and curbs up on the hill, Mr. Fryman.
Real good, sir. Thank you.
Finance Department, Mr. Bondurant.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Parks and Playgrounds, Mr. Little.
Nothing to report.
Fire Department, Mr. Roulette.
No report.
Okay, one thing I want everybody to take a notice of, though, is up on the hill, the tennis courts and two new pickleball courts will be going in here very shortly. I don't know if they paved yet. They're supposed to pave, I think, or asphalt back this week. So, and then next spring we have two pickleball courts going in down at Todd Creech Park. So, pickleball's where it's at.
They was up there working today.
Was it today? Then
Yeah, they were there
Then
today,
they must
yes.
started it back.
Yeah, had a bunch of equipment up there.
Good. Okay, I got two things for council here. Thursday morning, we have Pruce Construction coming in to give you a rundown on the pavilion, the new pavilion over at Civic Park at 11 a.m. If you can't make it, please let me know if you cannot make it. And then on the, I want to let everybody know, including council, on September 11th, which is next week, this is the 150th, you've probably seen some advertising going on with the schools, 150th graduating class of Lawrenceburg Community Schools, and that's pretty cool. I think Lenny went to school that first year. But anyway, next week they're going to have a pep rally. Well, back up. Homecoming is next Friday, a week from this Friday. Wow. And they're going to have a pep rally over at Civic Park. We're partnering with them on the 11th, which is Wednesday night. And don't hold me to the time, but I believe it's 7 o'clock. But it's going to be quite a bit of activity going on over there. I urge you to come over and join in. But there's going to be a lot of different events throughout the year that the school is going to be doing. I also know that they've been having meetings with us. They formed a committee this winter for basketball homecoming. After the basketball game, they're going to have a party and a band over at the Liberty Theater after the game. So that more information will be coming out about that. But anyway, I urge you, and you know, everybody will see it on Facebook, I'm sure. But next Wednesday, come out to the pep rally. Might see.
Now, I do want to say one thing about you talking about the school. I went over, now I was sitting over there, and I recommend, if you haven't been over to a ball game, you need to go and check those lights out.
I heard that.
They are, people was coming up to me and they said, look, I got goose pimples.
Yeah.
It looks like something at the Bengals. It was awesome.
Yeah, they did a nice setup.
Scoreboard.
And the scoreboard, and they got replay on there.
It's like a jumbotron.
It's pretty cool.
Lenny, we couldn't see the scoreboard from where we were.
Mark, here's Mark.
Ask him where he was sitting.
cried and
It's
whined.
behind it.
Because he comes over when it already started.
He was sitting
He
outside
said-
the fence. He didn't want to pay the $3.
Well, he didn't
want to pay it in.
It wasn't, I didn't, well, I would have, Mark says I'm coming over.
You should have never brought this up. is what you
Yeah,
should
I
have
know,
done.
because I knowed he'd say that. The thing was, he said.
You were in the
he said to me, I
cheap
said, "Hey,
seats."
Marcus, go over and look at the lights. And I said, okay. And he says, I ain't going in. I said, well, we gotta go in. He says, no. So I had to take my lawn chair and I said, what they call the cheap seats? So we sat outside the fence. It was pretty awesome, but the only reason I didn't go in is because of that.
Hey, we can
Well-
see
He's
the lights,
too
couldn't
tight.
Hey, we don't want to get off on a tangent here, but a lot of the people in the audience remember back when I was in high school and before, a lot of people sat up on US 50.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Didn't you, JR?
Well, that's one of, that's really the one that started.
Yeah,
making
remember
the
that?
cheap seats.
Nobody cared about safety
Yeah.
then, did they? They sat up there right next to the guardrail.
But that is really awesome.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dora cups now.
It's really cool.
Okay, all right. Are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All
Incriminate
right.
yourself.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
So moved.
Lenny, 2?
I'll
Second?
second.
Dylan? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. New business, first thing I'd like to do is, obviously, shoot now, it's been what, 3 weeks ago? On council night, the most long time dedicated, since I've been here almost 10 years, and I could probably count on one hand how many meetings Lee Holcraft missed. And I'm gonna tell you, I couldn't believe how sharp she was, right? And she told me stories about my brother that I didn't know back from when he was in school, and she was hanging around in school. But anyway, sure miss that young lady, and JR and Melody and Dylan. It's not much, but we just wanted to do something special for the family and for Lee. And it's not the bow on the chair; it's the plaque on the back, and really it just signifies that that's Lee's chair, and that's where Lee sat for all the years that I've been here, and before that when I was just attending the meetings. And I'm sorry. Oh yes, and she occasionally chime in.
Yeah.
You know, especially if there's something on her mind, and we appreciate that. And but I just want to, listen, I think people should take, pride in their city and take ownership of what's going on and hold us accountable and hold people in these positions accountable for what's going on. Granted, we were able to now have stuff online where, people can't make all the meetings and such, but Lee was one of those people that she always brought us a treat.
Yeah.
Every meeting brought us a treat. And I'll tell you, and probably still got some stuff up here, but the thing is we miss her, and JR, Dylan, Melody, we just wanted to let you know how much we appreciate her.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate this.
well, you no appreciation needed, but
Couldn't come.
oh,
COVID hit.
oh, I know, and
You don't want to see her throw a fit either.
No,
no,
I've seen a few.
I bet you have. But thank you for sharing her with us.
Yes.
We appreciate it. And
Appreciate it.
well, and I know you guys brought her over here and picked her up, and we appreciate it.
I want to thank y'all. Very nice thing y'all did for her, and she loved you all. I mean, present, past, a whole bunch. And
Yep,
she was doing this, when I first got in. That's been over 20 years ago.
I know it.
And you're right there. I think the only meeting she missed was during COVID. And then, of course, when she got a little down there at the end, but every time, I thought she might forget one every now and then, being, in her 90s, but hell, no, I'd go over and help her out, and it's meeting night. Where we going? Let's go.
JR just be getting home from golf, and oh man, I gotta go.
Then she'd have to load up all that little goodie bag, and
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
put it in here and all that stuff, but I'll let you know one thing, I'm not gonna bring you no goodie bags.
Well, you're welcome anytime, though, JR.
It means a lot.
You're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, Dell, you gonna take care of doing we're gonna do the first reading of the new electric, water, and sewer utility rate ordinances. Do we have a ordinance for the first, a number for the first one, Mark?
We're at number 9.
Number 9.
We're at number 9.
2024-9, that's for the electric.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
9, okay.
Thank you, and if it pleases the Common Council, also the Utility Service Board, Board Works and Director Kennan is here still, but the way this process works, and you guys have all been familiar, but just to get a little background for the public, utility rates are based on rate studies that are done by engineers, accountants, a really good accounting firm that Billy engaged, and then just a ton of work by Billy and his folks to arrive at options. Those options were rolled out to the Utility Service Board, and the Utility Service Board recommended the 3 versions that we see today. Billy's saying a really good summary of where those options came from and how we ended up with these ordinances that are the official kind of tabulation of what those rates will be. We'll read them tonight by title only. These will then we'll publish a public hearing for the next meeting. It's actually going to end up being the second meeting in October. So we'll change these dates just because the mayor is out for that first meeting. So it'll be the second meeting on October where we'll have a public hearing where the public can give comments and give statements. And then we'll have the second reading and the final vote to approve or not approve or change or whatever the pleasure of the city council is. This is a city council decision and city council endeavor, even though it comes through the utility board. So the first ordinance, and Mr. Fetty, did you say 9?
9, yes.
9.
Thank you. It's ordinance number 2024-9, which is an ordinance establishing a revised schedule of rates and charges for electric utility services to be collected from users of the city's electric utility system. And then this ordinance has the new rates. This will also go up on our website. People will be able to see it. It'll be published. The whole process has been kind of very open and transparent, and this is getting to the finalization. So this is the first reading. It does not require a vote. We'll have an opportunity to vote the next time, but of course, any comments from the council are welcome here.
So, no votes tonight. We will get these posted after the meeting with our meeting minutes. These will be posted for everybody to view. So you can come back that second meeting in October to, if you have any questions in regards to the increases. Just relatively speaking, though, electric is pretty much a no increase, if I'm not speaking out of turn, correct?
That's correct.
Correct, Mr. Kennett? Okay. Okay.
And just to clarify, what IMPA has what they call the ECA tracker, and every quarter they adjust that based on the power purchasing rates. And so what we're doing as a part of that, we're resetting the tracker to 0, which means we're adjusting the cost per kilowatt hour to be able to do that. It's a net 0 change as far as the rate, but we are doing some resetting of the tracker versus the kilowatt hour. So the tracker will be reset to 0, and the cost per kilowatt hour will be adjusted to accommodate that change.
Okay. All right. So the first ordinance, ordinance number 2024-9, has been read in title only. Can we go to ordinance number 2024-10, which is for the sewer department?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. If it pleases common council, we'll now read ordinance number 2024-10 by title only. And the title is an ordinance establishing a revised schedule of rates and charges for sewage works utility services to be collected from users of the city's sewage works utility system.
Okay. All right. Any questions up here, guys? All right. The next ordinance this evening would be for water department, would be ordinance number 11.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. If it pleases the common council, ordinance number 2024-11 will be read now by title only, and the title of that ordinance is an ordinance establishing a revised schedule of rates and charges for waterworks utility services to be collected from users of the city's waterworks utility system. Okay. That's the third and final rate ordinance for tonight. That is first reading for all 3 of those ordinances.
Okay. Like I said, they'll be posted after or with our meeting minutes, and then we'll have a second reading and a hearing and adoption on second week of October.
Let me grab that date. That's probably appropriate here. So, and we'll change the documents to accommodate that. It'll be published in the newspaper and the register. The statute calls for 1 publication no less than 10 days before the public hearing. That hearing will occur on Monday, October 21st, here in Chambers at 6 o'clock p.m. And again, that is both a public hearing for public questions and comments, as well as second reading and a vote on the 3 ordinances.
Okay.
For the documents that'll be posted online, will they be posted with the tables that'll show everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, all the appendices will be included.
Okay. Any questions? All right, next item is the, Mr. Weldon, we got the SERPA dissolution. Let me preempt that with, SERPA was the Southeastern Indiana Port Authority that was started, I believe, under Mayor Carr's administration, based upon when we were thinking we were going to get a port here in the city. The 4th port of Indiana, and then during my administration, the plug was pulled, that they were no longer going to do that here in the city, respectively over here at Tanner's Creek property. There was a committee that was, I believe, had 3 members from Aurora, 3 members from Greendale, and 3 members from Lawrenceburg, and I'm not so sure if the county had membership on that or not. But either way, we had contributed the city of Lawrenceburg to start that back in, like I said, before us even. They started this for good reason, but there was $600,000, I believe, put in that account for that. So over the years, some money has been spent out of that on attorney fees and consultants, things like that. But I believe do we have the amount that's total amount?
I just received, Tom, 465.
$465,000 is being returned back to the city, going back into rainy day rainy day fund.
Yes.
But this ordinance right here gives us the ability to dissolve that authority. So this is going to be ordinance number 12, I assume. I'm pretty good at math there. Yeah.
Really
Going great.
Yeah.
Hey, Lenny, quit helping him out.
Yeah. So if I can, ordinance number 2024-12, City of Lawrenceburg, Denver County, it's an ordinance repealing the sections of the Lawrenceburg, Indiana Code of Ordinances, and this is in direct reflection of dissolving the SERPA, the Port Authority. Any questions from you guys about that?
Have the other cities dissolved it as well?
They have
Yeah.
attached to our ordinance is
Good point.
the resolution from the board of directors, which consists of the 3 cities, representatives from the 3 cities. So they've already voted to dissolve the SERPA, voted to return the funds to the city of Lawrenceburg, signed a resolution, which we'll also sign, but then we have this additional step because we created in our local code of ordinances, basically the structure for SERPA, which now goes away.
That answer your question? Okay.
I
So,
got a question.
yeah,
Mine had 2 wrote on it.
Yeah,
You're saying
that's-
there's 12.
yeah, because that's
The resolution,
the resolution.
Okay.
And that
Yeah.
was from the board of directors.
All right.
Not the ordinance.
not the ordinance, yes.
Do we know what fund this goes back into, Mark?
Yeah, rainy day.
Rainy day,
Rainy
okay.
day.
Yes, sir.
So ordinance number 2024-12, I entertain a motion to approve this on the first and final reading tonight, as long as we are unanimous in our voting.
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Thank you. All right, Chief Tremaine, reporting software quote.
Yeah, I'm gonna get started and Pat will go over everything on that, but if you needed a place for that, rather than rainy day, you could bring it over the fire.
What are you here for?
No, I just want to bring everybody up. Some of you may not know, but we we work off of reporting software, which is basically a management system to where we report our fires by law to the state of Indiana and the federal government. So last spring, I believe, we were hit that the company we were using has been bought out. So that put us into a panic, and Pat jumped on and started reviewing different softwares out there and the people that use them. The unfortunate thing about this, as you see in the quotes, the software is pretty much almost double. So I just want to give you a brief overview. Pat has all the quotes that he's diligently worked on to move forward so we can get us the software.
Thank you.
All right, so initially when I started this project out, we were looking at just changing the fire piece only. But since the events of the last few weeks, we started to look, well, I had to look at the EMS side of things as well. So I solicited for quotes, and I got 3 of them. First one was the low bidder, was emergency networking. This one came into a total of, and you'll notice each one has an upfront fee and then an annual fee. The upfront fee is mostly for the setup, training, data migration from what we've had. Because our reporting software not only does our fire reporting, but it also, we also track our equipment maintenance in there. We track equipment maintenance, building inspections, pre-plans, a lot of different information. All of our training records are in there as well. So we use it to the full extent that we can use it for. So our emergency networking was the least expensive, and it came in at looks like it was annually it's going to be $10,940, and it's $13,440 for the first year. But that, like I say, that includes the data migration and all for that. But when I was looking through that, the biggest thing that I found through that one is it's not very tested. I couldn't find a lot of close users to our proximity that used that as much as what I would have liked to have seen, to where I could get some good feedback from people that are in a similar system to what we're in. So then I went back to, and I'm going to skip over the middle one for a reason. So then I went back to Image Trend. Image Trend was the most expensive one. It has an annual fee of $15,500, but an upfront fee of $21,125. The reason that I looked at this one, that's the current reporting software that the EMS system uses right now. At our department. So right now, you know, we have one fire reporting software, we have one scheduling software, and we have this EMS reporting software. So it was a little bit more pricey than what I would have liked to have seen. I don't feel like it's worth that investment in that. So, which brings me back to the middle quote, which is ESO, which is the one that I would recommend us to go to for a couple of reasons. They have a full suite that offers scheduling if we choose to go to that in the future. But they also have the fire reporting and the EMS reporting. But what's nice about this is ESO is also what the hospital uses. So when we are trying to collect patient information moving into our new setup on January the 1st, this will allow the hospital information on those patients to come to our reporting, so they'll merge together, and then that goes to our billing service. So then that information is more complete when it goes up there, which should lead to us hopefully getting more revenue as far as billing goes, because we're sending out complete information to our billing company. I feel like that is pretty important for us, because I was on the phone with them the other day, in a conference call, and I don't think I got to talk to Mark about this when I was over there the other day, but we were able to secure with them when we notified them that we were looking at going, and I was going to be recommending ESO. But they did give us a 1/4 point reduction in our accounts receivable billing. So we actually dropped from 5 3/4%, which that's the percent of annual or monthly receivables we get on our ambulance billing. So right now they charge us 5.75, and I actually got that to drop to 5.5. So moving forward, that'll help that. And then ambulance billing is also willing to cover, they'll pay the integration of their part to that. So like we won't have any integration with them to have to pay for moving forward with ESO. So I felt like ESO was a more complete package for what we had that takes into account, and some of the reason for the raise in the price also is we're actually going to be paying for the ALS version that goes on to that, so that'll be able to track, we'll be able to track our drug usage in it, a lot of our medical stuff. We'll still be able to import all of our fire and EMS training, as well as our inspections, our pre-plans, and a lot of our other stuff that we use, daily truck check forms for our meds, drugs, and for all that kind of stuff moving forward. And it also allows us to incorporate the Indiana building codes into the software so that we can pull directly from the codes when we're out doing inspections, on fire inspections.
Pretty all-inclusive.
Yes, I felt like it was. I felt like in my personal opinion, with the hospital being on ESO and with the reduction in the rate that we got from the billing department, from our ambulance billing service, I felt like there was probably, and I also got a lot of positive feedback from career fire departments, volunteer fire departments that use it, paramedic service, BLS services, Ripley County EMS, probably the nearest bigger paid EMS service that we have here. They're ESO all the way. They have nothing but, I could find no problems with it from a lot of people. And so I felt like it was a very vetted service. for what we would be using it in the future. So like I felt like moving forward, that's the one that I would recommend. And it had a total of 14,637 in the upfront and then 11,662 in the recurring. And the nice thing about this also too is it has a zero cost CAD integration. So the county information that comes through on the computer like we get on our MDTs, there's no cost to have that data sent to our trucks for what we're paying for. And currently we're paying for that CAD integration now. So that will be actually, there's no charge for that moving
So
forward.
it sounds like though we're paying a year up front.
We're paying a year up front, and like I say, that $29.75 in fees is mostly training. So they'll train us, they'll help us build the system up, they'll walk us through, they'll have separate training sessions. There's 3 for the fire, 1 training for the asset training, so that's like our checklist and our truck checks and things like that. And then that does include the all the data migration and stuff as well, and that's actually recurred at 0. So,
And this will include EMS?
yes, and that's why I had it all set aside to come to you with fire for just the fire reporting. But when everything changed, I went back and revisited everything. Had some meetings with Rick over the EMS stuff so I could bring myself up to speed before I made a determination and before I talked to Johnny about what I felt like was going to be the right way to go. And just taking everything into consideration, I feel like that's probably the best step for us moving forward. And ESO is actually the one that bought out the current software that we do have.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So do you guys have any questions for me about this?
I got a quick question, and I probably should have asked you this the other day. I guess I just wasn't paying attention close enough.
Probably not.
But so with the EMS billing, you're saying that it's going to be now transitioned over to the ESO?
No.
Talk to them about
So
that.
we will still be using ambulance billing, but the difference is we just had to check with them because like currently we use Image Trend as the EMS billing software. So they take the information they have a login to our system to get our data for billing.
Okay.
Okay. So what I needed to check with them is one, if they were good with ESO, that they could do that we weren't going to have to look at changing billing services. So that was one of the hurdles I wanted to cross first. And when I talked to them, they actually, the lady I was talking to, they're up in Elkhart, and they said, we're completely familiar with it because everyone around us is being forced onto it because that's what everybody uses. So, which is another thing why, and then I think that's a reason why we got the 0.25% reduction in the receivables rate moving forward because they use it so much.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Questions? Thanks, Pat. So your recommendation, and I'll put it out in the form of a motion, is to use ESO at a cost of, well, we're going to say it's startup cost of $2,975, and then the recurring cost will be $11,662.
Mm-hmm.
Is motion?
I'll make that motion.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, if I
Yeah.
could, just because, so what we're doing is we're the second lowest quote out of 3 quotes obtained. This is far less than $50,000 threshold that would kick us into any formal building. I think that under the 522, especially 52210, Assistant Chief Myers has shown that there is an overall savings and overall synergy based on their merger with the EMS to share in that kind of data, as well as the hospital. There's improvement, a benefit to public safety, and this is the option that the Assistant Chief and Police Chief have both chosen. So just for the record, and so it's in the minutes, even though we're not choosing the lowest quote, it is permissible under Indiana law to make this selection as recommended by Assistant Chief Myers.
Okay.
And I feel like moving forward too with this is that way we're not having a bunch of different softwares in the firehouse that everybody's having to
Yep.
deal with. I think it'll be a more streamlined process for us.
Okay. Okay, got a motion on the floor from Dylan?
second.
Second from Tony. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks.
Thank you.
Checking into that. I have no other new business or old business for this meeting.
Old business,
I'm sorry?
old business, UDO,
Yeah.
another extension.
Yeah, here, I agree, we have to get the extension put on there, but can I do this? Have you guys had a chance to get any questions together and stuff?
Yep,
Okay, well then,
I'm ready. The last meeting was canceled, so
yeah. Let me, I'll see if I can get a meeting scheduled prior to our second meeting in September for, get the questions answered. And then we have to do the same thing with MS4.
MS4,
Yeah, could everyone get their MS4 questions, edits, whatever?
I'm ready for both,
Okay.
both meetings.
Both at the same meeting. I would like to get through those then. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll get your meeting put on there.
Should we make a motion for the extension?
Yeah, yep. Let's just make it a
45 day?
45 days. Can I get a motion to extend the UDO agreement vote for an additional 45 days?
I'll make that motion.
How about a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for reminding me of that. UDO meeting. Okay, any other old business?
I have something I promised to bring up. I've had some complaints from golf cart drivers. I guess there's a curfew for them at 11 o'clock. They're supposed to be off the road. I think, or they're subject to a fine.
I don't know.
I mean, is that something that we can change if we want to, or?
Well, yeah, we can change it, but is it in the ordinance? I haven't
Yes.
looked at it.
I don't know if it's in the ordinance or not. Well, I'm just hearing from the golf cart drivers said they gotta get home by 11
Who
or they
told
get
them
fined.
that?
Who told him that?
I don't know.
Like
I'm not a
police?
I'm not a golf cart driver.
Well, they
But,
talked to you.
Well, yeah, we can check that, Tony. I don't know that that's in there. I don't know why it would be in there, to be honest with you.
right now. I don't recall.
They got turn signals and headlights.
I will tell you this, there's some,
Last
I will say this, there's some golf cart people that are upset because they've been getting pulled over for not having their permits.
Yeah. Well, these people have all the lights and have everything.
No, we're talking about the permit.
Yeah.
People aren't
Oh,
getting their permit, so, but, we'll check the ordinance. If there's a time frame, I don't
know why they would put a time frame on it.
either, not in a golf cart community like that.
With that being said, so I remember we tabled the golf carts on the bike trail. That
Yeah,
was,
I mean,
I was
Yeah.
going to say it was tabled, but I've heard that it's been nixed.
well, in light of a bad accident on that trail by a golf cart, I chose not to bring it back up.
I think Aurora next to
Roar
there,
next
didn't
to.
They did,
Yes, he did.
because I don't know what you guys had heard. Had you heard from many people that used it that were wondering? I was getting blown up about it.
I had about
So was
I had heard mixed things. Some people were really for it.
Yeah.
I knew that the bike shop down in Aurora obviously was pretty opposed, but I had about 3 of Aurora City Council members reach out to me that were in favor of it, but then they said that it was never brought up down there because it was nixed here, and I was like, we tabled it, we never really.
Well,
I thought
no.
Aurora had a special meeting after that accident,
did.
didn't it?
Yeah.
they did.
Was there an accident on the trail?
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, a golf cart from Greendale was on the trail and illegally. Evidently, I don't think the person had a license even, and they had to call out to paramedics and rush him to the hospital. I believe it totaled the golf cart and things. Be honest with you, that did it for me, but.
I've had 4 or 5 people, I'd be sit up there sometime, and people that walk it, they'd come up to me and they said, I hope you don't pass that for golf carts, so.
Well, I think there's probably there's people out there that want it, that would like to see it happen. I think the majority don't want to see it happen from what I've what I've heard from, simply because there's a lot of kids that ride their bikes on the trail with their parents a lot most of the time. And quite honestly, I think, yeah, it would be great if people from Aurora could drive their golf cart down here for our events, and we can go to Aurora for hit a restaurant, whatever the case may be. But I guess it wasn't designed for that. I went back and asked folks that, and JR, I don't know if it was when you were on council when that trail went in or not, but it wasn't designed for motorized vehicles. That's why it was never approved for motorized vehicles. There's no guardrails. That's what happened to the golf cart. It went off, hit a tree or a pole or something. But so I never brought it back up.
I didn't see anything here.
Yeah, it does.
But
So-
does it say it?
Yeah, in 2016, when we passed first ordinance for use of golf carts, it says that they can only operate between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. So you want them on there at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning?
Well,
Tony, you're gonna,
I would rather see them drive their golf cart home than go home and get their big F-250 and drive it back someplace.
yeah.
Or they're gonna run over
Either way,
somebody.
they get a DUI if they're out.
Right, but if
Yeah.
if they run over somebody, I'd rather be a golf cart than a big truck or something.
Now,
Most of them have designated drivers, and they have to leave. Say they're playing a pool tournament, dart tournaments, at the restaurants and bars here and stuff. They have to leave and go and get something else to drive or something.
no, I'd say without knowing any more as to why this is in there, I think it's kind of arbitrary. It'd be hard to enforce, and there are other rules that would keep golf carts safe.
Right.
I mean, if a golf cart's out at 1 in the morning, you still know that person's not intoxicated, that they have lights, that they have a
Yeah.
driver's license that's been registered at the police department. So I would say it's fine to take that out. I can't think of a reason why it was in there. It's been 8 years.
Can we put it on next
Yeah.
next meeting to address that?
That'd be
You
fine.
okay with that?
I think there was a couple other changes. I think Tommy missed those changes the last time.
What'd you miss, Tom?
That was the one.
Taking the
meeting-
seatbelts off.
Could have been.
That was the one meeting Tommy was not
Seatbelts
here.
that you
We
guys
missed it.
put on.
We'll take a, we'll
And-
Oh, that's when he
We'll
wasn't
go
here.
through it and come
That's
back
when-
with
Wranglers.
That's when he wasn't here, yeah.
I think we want seatbelts. Why wouldn't we want seatbelts?
Your
The
Honor,
city of Lawrenceburg doesn't even have.
one other thing.
We should get in trouble.
It's sort of old business. After speaking with our arborist, Chad,
Yeah.
Yes.
over on Center Street Park,
Glad you brought that up.
he said it'd be a good idea if we had a tree board with a tree ordinance in town. I know Greendale has one. I think Tommy was gonna look and see what theirs says, but could we look into getting a tree ordinance for Lawrenceburg? And
We have
The
one.
ordinance?
we do have one?
Yep, I looked it up. We have one. I was gonna pass it on to him and let him read it.
Have Chad read it?
Yes.
Let's let him
So,
take a look
Yeah,
at it.
you mind if we look into that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe come up with something?
Yep, I looked through them. We do have one.
Listen, he mentioned that to me, I probably after he talked to you guys about it. And I have a lot of respect in what he has to say.
I'll tell you,
He knows what he's talking about.
After speaking with him, he's very, very knowledgeable.
Very professional too.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we can do that too, Tony. I'm in favor of doing that if you guys are. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Take a look at that and see if we need to do anything with it.
Okay, great.
Okay. Anything else from old business, guys? If not, entertain comments from the audience. If not, entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to approve all payroll reports and checks once properly certified.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
My big mouth.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, everybody.
Tony. Appendix F.
Get a picture with that, yeah.
Next time.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I thought you were coming back the next one.
Can be. You're more than welcome. I'll have them send out an invite to everybody.
Can you ask them to stay? I'll get a picture with them all.
Do what?
Thursday at 11, I believe.
Yeah, of course.
Fifth? The 5th at 11. Right here, in this. Oh, I know. We just, they haven't been told about. I pray every day, brother. No, this is beautiful.
So I think he has asked us, I get confused about it because there's somebody that
Y'all have
asked us to do it, and we wouldn't do it every time we got our lives. But I don't know if it's him. I'll check.
2, 3, 4, 5.
It seems to me like.
And you signed this. Okay. Keep going.
Can I get a picture of you guys?
Say congrats.
I'll check on it. I'll check on it.
Trying to get you back here. It's gonna be
So this is like,
That's it.
is it? You got it?
It's been fun. Yes, sir.
I just wish we could talk in and stay in at least 3 years. No, I hard of hearing about this.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
She was really nice. She didn't really know me, but she brought me stuff all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The girls over there, they I saw
Yeah. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. I seen you get mad. Thank you for everything.
JR, we're gonna miss her, JR. I'm telling you, she treated those girls like a beast. I mean, I tell you what, she's a sweetheart.
You call that a
I tell you what, I really thought a whole lot about her. She's a very neat lady.
What I
I
do
knew her a
now?
lot of years.
I hear talk about that.
She was very, very involved.
Well,
Yeah, you can tell
I thought we were gonna leave with him last night. I thought we were going to hospital. It was all prepared.
she lived a good life. I mean, she
I said, Debbie, you gotta give him, but you don't want to give it to him all the
did a
time.
lot of things.
But
Yep.
he was having like
Yeah.
every 15 minutes for a while, then it started slowing down again. But I think, so he'd been 2 days no sleep. And sometimes
Yeah.
Rainer do that stuff to him.
She would have been 90.
What? Oh, I thought you meant 94 degrees. I'm saying, I ain't going tomorrow. And that what? Hey, you gotta come over and see that. That is unreal. I don't get her, you know me, I'm like, it takes a lot to impress me, but I was very impressed with that.
Both of them, yeah.
I don't know what it cost.
Yeah, make sure both of you guys sign it.
Okay, buddy, hey, just plan on, if I don't call you, pick me up.
You guys sign it. No,
Hey, buddy.
That's everybody. That's everybody. That's utilities. Utilities gotta have all those.
Alley there, you got, back alley, curtain tile, I believe, and I think it's already started to disperse some things.
That's pretty neat, ain't it?
I think, look, it's just the beginning.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Pretty cool. I was wondering what they came up with.
Hey, when we gonna set up and go? Whenever we can all get together, go golfing, go somewhere where nobody's played.
He plays.
Well, he can go too. And we'll go and, just bring some money.
I want to see if I can golf better than Lenny.
Now, are you pretty good? How did you really do today? You really did.
He probably shot a 90. That's good for him.
I got a birdie putt for the first time. Otherwise, I haven't.
Oh, yeah, you're way better.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in. Bring that checkbook.
Way
better.
Bring that checkbook. And I'll tell you what, I'll play right back here with you big boys. We'll go to the right. We'll go to the back.
Listen, Lenny, they were told me that you were replaced with me, so.
Lenny gets birdie putts all the time when Mark hits the drive and I hit an iron and then he has a birdie putt.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, they're gonna talk all that trash, but who winds up, I'm the last one to putt, who winds up making that putt?
Hey, do you know when we play in scrambles, he plays from the front